Good morning, friends. The most common question asked to me by the candidates who are appearing for SSV interviews is how to improve their English. I have heard a very common tale in which most of the candidates tell me that they were screened out in the group discussions or they were not able to perform well in front of the GTO or in front of the interview because of lack in their English abilities. And even if they had the capability, they didn't have the confidence to speak well in front of the others and hence they was taken out. So friends, today I will give you 7 important tips on how to overcome this limitation, how to have confidence in your abilities and how to learn English. Gentlemen, whatever I am going to talk today, it is out of my own personal experience. I was schooled in a very common village school. There was no English in our schools. I started studying English after my class 8th. Hence you can imagine how difficult it must have been for me to learn the English. But with these methods which I am going to explain you, it was not that difficult also. I practiced, I tried, and later on my English improved to such level that today I can speak English better than any convent speaking student. So I am going to give you the same tips today. Friends, there are two basic approaches to learn any language which includes English. The first approach is grammatical approach. In this, you first learn the basics of that language, the grammar of that language, and then later on you graduate to the pronunciation and other parts. Sanskrit is one such language. If you do not learn grammar of that language, you cannot learn Sanskrit. The problem with this type of approach is it's time consuming, takes lot of time and effort. But however, if you practice this approach, you are likely to grasp the essentials of that language easily and you will be a better writer in the long run. The second approach is behavioral approach. This is learning by observation. Gentlemen, you must have seen how a child picks up the language. Do you teach him any grammar or any words? No. He just observes and learns everything. It is the same way in which if you go to a foreign country, you pick up their language. How do you do that? You just observe your environment, you see the signs, you see how the people are speaking, and slowly and gradually you pick up that language by observing how the people are behaving. This is an easier method of learning, requires less time. However, you might err on the grammatical part, but you do not worry on that. This is the approach in which the foreigners learn any language. If you go to any foreign land and speak their language, they will not make fun of you. In fact, they will help you in learning that language. So, that is much easier approach to learn any language. The problem with us is that we are not in a foreign land and we are not speaking a language with foreigners. We have to do it in India and we have to speak with those people who know the language better. So let's understand how the brain system works in deciphering the language in our minds. Gentlemen, the brain takes signals from your senses. Whatever your senses gives to the brain, there is a part in the brain known as thalamus. It converts that stimuluses into the thought waves. Gentlemen, the problem with us is that we always think in our native language and that is the Hindi. So if you have to speak to somebody in English, firstly you think in Hindi, convert that into English in your mind, translate it and then you speak in English. So your brain takes double time to narrate the same thing which you have done in your Hindi language. So since the time is taken is double, you start having hesitation and hence you are not able to speak properly in English with full confidence. So the solution is that whatever we think, we should start thinking in English. There should not be any requirement of conversion from our native language to the English language. Hence, whatever our senses perceive, that should go into our mind in the same language which we want, and that is English. Therefore, I am going to give you 7 tips. By using them, you can start thinking in English and thereafter you will be able to speak perfect English. The first and the most important tip, gentlemen, is your environment. Change your environment. Keep the company of those friends who are comfortable in English, who can speak in English with you, and who support you in speaking that language. Make sure whoever you follow in school, your teachers, or somebody at home, you speak with them in English. Go to some place where the foreigners come. Meet those foreigners, see them speaking, and learn the language from them. They will not make fun of you, and you will also learn something from them. Next thing, friends, is our hesitation to speak English. Since you are not confident about the language, you always think 10 times before speaking it with anybody else. You always think that this person might make fun of me. So if you have to learn the language, first of all, you'll have to take out the hesitation from your minds. Don't worry about the ridicule. Don't worry about the fun which the people are going to make. Accept it in the right sense. Do not worry about anybody else. Speak what you are trying to speak. Speak with your friends, speak with your parents, speak with your relatives, but speak only in English. One simple thing which somebody told me is to call up the call center. They speak in English and it will be very easy to practice your language with them. They will not tell you that you are speaking wrong language. So pick up your any call center, give a call to them, tell them that you have a problem in your phone or in your TV and this is the problem. Speak to them for 1 hour daily and you will start improving your language slowly and slowly. Now once you have taken out your hesitation to speak, you need to learn the language in actual. So where do you actually learn it? In the easiest way? Yes, the easiest way is watching English news daily. Friends, make it a habit of watching the news in the morning and in the night at least for 1 hour daily. My suggestion is to watch the English news channels like CNN, BBC, who are without the subtitles. If you watch them without subtitles, you will pick up the language in a faster manner. The next thing which you need to do is learn the vocabulary of that language, learn certain important words and how to use them in sentences. Where do you get it from? Yes, the simplest thing which comes to your house daily. Read the English newspaper every day. Underline the words, at least 4 or 5 new words daily in those newspapers and practice them in the sentences the way it has been done in the newspaper. Also, another thing is to read the newspaper loudly. Stand in front of the mirror, take the newspaper and start reading. Read it for 15-20 minutes at least every day and your hesitation will go. You will start learning the words and you will start making them into sentences. The fifth tip, friends, is about your self-consciousness. You need to be always conscious of yourself, of your thoughts, what you are thinking and in what language you are thinking. Whenever you are going and practicing something or thinking something, just think over it. What are you thinking? Are you thinking in Hindi? Are you thinking in English? Are you thinking in Tamil? And make sure that whatever thoughts are coming in your mind, they come in the language which you want to learn, and that is English. So, the mantra here is of conscious living. If you are conscious of your thoughts and make sure that you are thinking only in English, it will be very easy for you to pick up the English language. Tip 6, friends, is about the 21-day rule. It has been proved scientifically and also behaviorally that whatever you do for 21 days religiously and regularly becomes your habit. Whether it is getting up early in the morning, reading, running, if you do the same thing for 21 days regularly at the same time, that becomes your habit and it stays with you throughout your life. Hence, for your habit of speaking in English, you have to make sure that whatever 5 tips which I have given to you before this, you practice them regularly, you do those things regularly for at least 21 days. If you do that, that will become your habit and you will start speaking good English. And last tip, friends, is about discipline. If by chance, if you are not able to follow the 5 tips which I have given you, you have to be very, very strict with yourself. If you break your promise even on one day, you have to punish yourself. You have to punish your body in such a way that your brain gets the signal and it does not miss that routine ever. So friends, just go ahead, start following these tips which I have given you from now onwards. Never procrastinate, don't leave it to tomorrow. And believe it, take it from me. It has worked for me and it will work for you. Friends, if you like the tips which I have given to you, please share it with others. You can see my channel on YouTube. Please subscribe so that I can keep on giving you important tips on your SSB interviews and also on career management. Thanks for watching. Thank you.